All right. Can you guys hear me? Awesome. Welcome to the special voice guest of Steven Universe. Again, thank you so much for your patience. We had such a great time last night. I mean, it was amazing just to see all of you guys show up. Thank you so much for showing support. We are so lucky to have the guests here from Steven Universe at MomoCon this year. So I really appreciate you guys showing your support. I know we're delayed a little bit, so I'm gonna go ahead and speed this up. What I'm gonna do a little differently than I did last night is we're just gonna have 10 to 15 minutes of moderated questions, and then we're gonna open up the majority for you guys, because we wanna hear questions from you all. And just a couple of housekeeping notes about asking questions. There are a lot of you. Last night, I think it was about 2,000 guests here. So everyone, just keep your questions to one question only, so pick a good one. And also, respect each other. Like, this is the best fandom, and we don't want any spoilers, all right? So no spoilers about the recent Steven bomb or anything like that. And I mean, we're gonna have a great time. Thank you so much. So, without further ado, I want to introduce voice of Steven Universe himself, Zach Callison.
Here? Cool, thank you. Hello, hello. Wow, it's even more packed than yesterday.
All right, next one is going to be the voice of Connie, Grace Rolek. Next on the itinerary, we have the voice of Pearl, Dee Dee Magno. And returning today is the voice of Amethyst, Michaela Dietz. Now, for the first time ever at MomoCon, please welcome the voice of Lapis Lazuli, Jennifer Paz. And of course, last but not least, we have the voice of Peridot, Shelby Rabara. Awesome. Thank you so much for being here.
Yeah.
How are you guys liking MomoCon so far? Woo woo, we love it.
Oh my gosh.
It's topping last year, and last year was pretty good.
Is this on? Is this on?
Why is there a huge cutout of Nick Cage?
I'm
Yeah,
so
like, I'm
crazy.
loving this.
So inspired.
Oh, that's great. I love that.
Is it because you think we're national treasures? Just kidding. That was crazy. I love you. That's cool. That's cool.
You do live in the Valley, Dee Dee, right? You're Valley Girl. Valley Girl.
Valley Girl?
Random reference. That was like the first Nicolas Cage film, right? Anyone? No.
Dude, I don't go back to IMDb crush.
I just dated myself.
Yeah, you're dating.
So good.
Bees, not the bees. Wait, which movie we talking? Oh, sorry.
So for my first question, I just want to ask you all, what was your favorite episode to do so far?
You know, it's an old one, but Steven and the Stevens presented. Thank you. Steven and the Stevens presented a unique challenge of doing an entire script while having a conversation between 4 different personalities in my own head. And we played most of the scenes the first couple times through of me just speaking to myself, which was very interesting. And each Steven has his own little personality quirks, and keeping track of that with just numbers was interesting. And it doing between the song and layering all the vocals, it was a long session, but like that was. Did water just fall from the ceiling?
I know, I saw that.
Lapis, yeah, see it, right? But yeah, that was definitely a cool one to do.
Similarly, on the theme of multiple versions of your character, Open Book was a favorite of mine because I got to play Connie and fake Connie, which was a blast. I enjoyed being evil for a couple minutes.
Especially because you're so far from it. I'd have to say Mr. Greg was pretty fun for me. For me, anything that involved the cluster, because we got to do so much Walla, and we'd all be like,
God.
cluster. That's right, cluster.
1, 2, need to.
Yeah.
Like scary voices.
Scary.
We spent like a half hour on that alone.
Yeah.
This is like Sophie's choice. Let me see. I love doing barn mates. Yeah. That's when you finally got to like, see Lapis assimilating, I guess, to Earth, and that. And I love the first episode where she appears with a big like smackdown water hand. That was amazing. So yeah.
My favorite episode is Log Dates. That one was really fun. And then I would say really close to that would be the new Crystal Gems, because I really like being the Garnet.
The Garnet.
Oh yeah, go Crystal Temps.
Yeah.
Awesome. This question is for Jennifer and Shelby, since they weren't here last night. In what ways are you like your character, and in what ways are you not like your character?
Well, I am a lot like my character in that I do tend to be a little socially awkward sometimes. A little bit. I don't know. She's a little socially awkward, isn't she? She's still trying to find her way among the Crystal Gems. So, she deals with a lot of trust issues. So I have little PTSD. But she's making her way, so it's positive, right? Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. I am similar to Peridot in the way that I'm also a big lover. I think Peridot has a really, really sweet heart. I think she's a sweetheart with a sweetheart. But bump. Also, she loves pumpkin, and in real life, I have a dog named Charlie who I'm obsessed with. Some of them have met Charlie.
He's so cute.
He's a little pumpkin, like pumpkin, but he's a real dog instead of a pumpkin. Arf! That was really good. Thank you for that. The ways I'm not like Peridot, I think I can censor myself a little bit more so than Peridot does. She has, she has a lot of blurts, uncontrolled blurts, that I don't think she means to really necessarily hurt other people's feelings. Shelby, in real life, I can censor myself a little bit better than Peridot, but I love Peridot, so she's awesome.
Here's a random question. If your character listened to music today, what kind of music do you think they would listen to?
Caramel dancing. Steven, it's very heavily implied that Steven loves anime. And, if you're Steven's age and you grew up on the internet, you probably love Caramel dancing deep down secretly in your heart.
Maybe the soundtrack to The Sound of Music? Or Indigo Girls?
Yes.
I think Peridot would really be into Thelonious Monk, the jazz musician.
Yeah.
He's no longer with us. However, she'd be like, "Ticka-ticka-ta-ta, ooh, ah, hey," with jazz music. But a really another artist that I think she'd be really obsessed with is Adele. She'd be singing that song "Miss You" by Adele, probably to a picture of Pumpkin if she had to go on another mission of some sort. So that's what she would listen to.
I'm picturing her writing Camp Pining Hearts fan fiction and just wailing, rolling in the deep
Yes.
in a locked room.
Exactly.
I don't know. I think Lapis would like a singer-songwriter like Jewel. I don't know. Yeah, right?
Yeah. Cranberries.
Oh.
Did I date myself?
Yeah.
How many of you guys know who the Cranberries are? Yes! There you go.
No.
I feel like Connie would probably really like musicals. I feel like, and all of them really, like, I mean, growing up, I loved Wicked. I feel like Connie would also.
I feel like Amethyst would be into like grunge, punk,
Nirvana.
maybe some metal.
Yeah, Nirvana.
Nirvana. Last night we were like in a vehicle, and like next to us rolled up these two. We were like flanked by these two cars, and it was like just like this crazy bass.
Yeah.
I think she would like to feel her biorhythms to that.
We love the characters that you play on the show. I know a lot of us obviously, we're animation fans. Did you guys have any favorite cartoons growing up?
I actually watched a lot of like early to mid 2000s Cartoon Network stuff. Codename Kids Next Door was probably my favorite. Powerpuff Girls back in the day. I just went back and I watched a few of the old episodes that I hadn't seen since I was probably 4 or 5 years old, and it took me back. Dexter's Lab. So yeah, it's cool to see some of those shows being reborn on the network, because that was my childhood.
I pretty much grew up on Kim Possible. So not the drama. And I loved SpongeBob a lot too.
Oh gosh, I'm gonna be dating myself. Way back when. I grew up watching the Flintstones, the Jetsons, the Gummy Bears, the Care Bears. Strawberry shortcake. That's the My Little Ponies and the He-Mans and the She-Ras and the Robotech. So yeah, that's my childhood in a nutshell. And Disney movies, of course.
Every child should watch those.
You what?
Every child should watch those old Disney animated movies.
Of course. Oh man, yeah. I feel like I remember when the picture started moving, and it scared me. I hate to admit this, but I didn't really watch cartoons. I had a problem with like ducks jumping into the pond and coming out and like they weren't wet anymore. I'm like, yo, what is this, magic? No, but I loved Disney movies. I really liked that one about the Lion King, the kid who became a king. Yeah.
Yes, I'm gonna date myself too, like Dee Dee, all ditto, and I also love Scooby-Doo.
Yeah.
I remember one of my first crushes was this kid on HR Puffin Stuff. Anyone?
What?
HR Puffin Stuff. Who's your friend when things get rough? Anybody? Oh my gosh. Thank you. But I mean, now I have a 4-year-old, so it's a lot of like Pokemon in the house. Barney, this one. Like I was like, how do I know that voice? Because this one, yes, she's on Barney. So yeah.
My favorite cartoons growing up were like Ren and Stimpy, Beavis and Butthead, Daria. It's really weird because when I first moved to LA, I drove by the WB and I saw the WB water tank, and I'm a huge fan of the Animaniacs. Yeah. And Looney Tunes. Roadrunner, like all of the classic cartoons I was a fan of. Beep, beep. Yep. Did you guys like that episode where Peridot, but Ren and Stimpy for sure. That was like one of my favorites, coming home from school and being like, I need to watch Ren and Stimpy. Oh, and Pinky and the Brain. Sorry, I knew I had another one. Pinky and the Brain was my other favorite, so yeah.
Okay, can I just add really fast, just because I have kids too, and they watched Mickey Mouse Clubhouse and Sophia the First, and I didn't know Zach was voicing the prince there. That was really a nice discovery.
I didn't know they watched that. That's cute.
Yeah, totally. I know him.
So this one is for Grace, Shelby, and Jennifer. You all played characters that didn't have a very strong presence at first, and now they've grown into some pretty extreme fan favorites. What are your thoughts on how your characters have evolved and grown in the show, and what do you think about the fan reception?
It's been overwhelming. We record these episodes like so far in advance. So when I watch the episodes air, like I'm watching it in real time and like fangirling like everyone else. So it's just been really overwhelming to see the audience reaction. I feel like Lapis is still sort of getting her bearings, but there's more in store for her, which I'm really excited. So just stay tuned, you guys.
I was mentioning this to someone who came up to my table earlier, and they were talking about how Connie's evolved a lot since the beginning of the show. And I was talking about how it's really cool to play a character that changes over time, especially because I feel like in cartoons, especially older cartoons, the characters were just, they had their personality and that was that. And it's really cool to be able to kind of voice Connie coming out of her shell and becoming more confident and learning how to sword fight. It's so cool. And I love doing all of the efforts. That's a blast. But yeah, that's how I feel about it.
Yeah, and I want to give a nod to the Steven Krooniverse. Our storyboard artists, our writers, our background artists, everything. I mean, even to the people who sign us in and, make sure that we're, given fruit and bagels before I record, and they really take care of us at, Cartoon Network over there. I think it's a nod to them for giving all three of us such a huge character arc. I think we went on a journey as well, and we're so glad that the fans have joined us on that journey, especially from, Peridot going from Peridot working for Yellow Diamond with her limb enhancers into small Peridot. It's just been, it's a dream come true being able to do this sort of work, especially on a majority female show with female characters. And not only that, but strong female characters. And that's all Rebecca Sugar and the whole Steven Krooniverse. So the fan reception as voiceover artists and also as actors and actresses, it's just really cool to get, even like all the small tweets, or not small, but like, the tweets and the comments that we get from all the fans. It really makes us feel good, and it also validates all our hard work, because I think with all of our characters, we really think long and hard about the, character choices that we're making in the booth. So we're just really glad that you guys like the show, and thanks so much for all your support.
Thank you. All right, I'm going to ask a question, and while I ask this question, we're going to go ahead and line up for the Q&A.
Whoa.
Slow down now.
Please be careful. Safety first. Safety first.
So first of all, thank you so much to all of you for coming to MomoCon. We are, again, incredibly fortunate. Can you tell us a little bit about your favorite fan moments at conventions?
This one is like a little bit somber, but I will never forget it. I was at a convention one time. I think this was SuperCon, so most of us were there. And there was a father and a son, a little guy, the kid. They came up to my booth, and I talked to the kid for a few minutes and did the voice for him, and then he, I think, moved on to talk to you, Dee Dee. And the father stayed behind for a minute, and he said, I just wanted to tell you, I did 2 tours in Afghanistan, and I came back with severe PTSD. I just didn't know how to emote anymore. I couldn't feel, and I just felt very lost. And then I started trying to spend more time with my son when I came back, and I started watching the show with him because it was his favorite, and it brought the emotion back, it brought the color back, and I didn't know what to say. I can't even begin to take credit for something that incredible. I mean, a lot of that goes to the crew, and especially Rebecca. But that moment was representative of what I've heard echoed from a ton of people in the fandom about the positive effect that this show has had and the positive message that it sends. But that one really I was changed my life, I think, in a way.
So the story that I thought of was definitely of a different tone. So my very first convention, I believe it was Animate Miami, I had a, hey! So I had a solo panel, and I was very nervous. I hadn't gotten very much sleep, and someone came up and asked me if I could scream John Cena in Connie's voice. And that ended up getting a lot of views on Vine, I found out, when Vine was still around, RIP. But yeah, that's definitely my most notable convention little fan thing that happened, because I mean, even today, someone came up to me and was like, I remember I saw on the internet that you streamed John Cena in Connie's voice.
This was like almost 2 years ago.
Yeah, no, like today, a girl came up to me and was like, that video was so funny, and I drew some fan art of like, and I was like, wow. But I honestly love it, but.
When, like a year after that happened, I was in California for a convention. Mind you, this first happened in Florida, and somebody comes up to me on another solo panel, is like, hey, so Grace Rolick did this. Can you do John Cena in the Steven voice? I was like, we've come full circle. It's everywhere.
You guys are next.
Oh, I'll make mine short. I received a phone number from a mystery girl. IRL?
What?
Like in real life? Well, at one of the conventions.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh,
I'm not even sure if it's the real number though, but I mean, I think it was just a fake one, but I thought it was really cute.
Was it like 1-800-Flowers? How do you know it was like fake? Wow.
Order a dozen roses.
Yeah.
Right.
Man, I feel like I have too many to choose from. I feel like, you know, even just today, talking to so many people, there are so many stories stand out, but I would say the general tone is people relating to me how much they relate to Amethyst's story of not feeling like they belong, whether it's dealing with depression or being adopted or body image issues. And anytime someone makes, you know, like a personal case for why they love this show so much, I'm just like so touched and again, so thankful to be a part of it and, you know, to hear your story. So thanks, guys.
Yeah.
I just had actually someone just write to me thanking me about the show, and that it's opened up a conversation with her parents who she just recently came out. So that meant a lot to me. I mean, the show is, when I describe the show, when I think about the show, it's very progressive and inclusive and diverse, and it's just changing the conversation about you know, a group of people that have been voiceless for so long, and I think that's just amazing. And even today, I had a couple people tell me that their favorite episode was Alone at Sea, and that, you know, Rebecca is tackling these kinds of issues of like what's right and what's wrong in toxic relationships. So those are moments that I really am so grateful to be a part of this amazing show, and the impact, the positive impact that it's making to give a voice to the voiceless. And I do remember Rebecca saying that, and the Crooniverse saying that they just wanted to make a show that they wish they grew up watching.
yeah.
So it's amazing. So Rebecca Sugar, we love you.
Yeah.
Amen.
I think a word, when I think about cons, you know, when the word con comes up, my favorite stories are about inspiration stories, or the word inspire comes to mind. you know, I love it when people come up and they say, I've wanted to be a voiceover artist. Like, what can I do? Like, how did you start? For me, that's the most inspiration. Like, it's so inspirational. I can't speak right now. Sorry, I'm a little.
Doing great. You're so good.
Am I doing
Red
all right?
eye.
Am I doing
Take
all
the red
right?
eye.
Okay, so the word inspire comes to mind. Because me trying to become a voiceover artist, I didn't know what I was doing. I went to a library and I got a book, and I read the book, and then I contacted the author of the book, and that's how I started training as a voiceover artist. I was an on-screen actress before. So having people come up to me being like, asking me questions about being a voiceover artist, I'm like, whoa, you're asking me for my advice? Like, I matter? Oh my gosh, like, this is so cool. So things like that are really awesome con experiences for me, as well as I really like all the cosplay.
Yes, the cosplay. Love all of the
Has been
details
exceptional
and
at this con in particular, by the way.
Yes.
Yes, you guys look
I see you over
awesome.
there, Yellow Diamond.
Yes.
Oh man.
Yes, Patty LaPone.
Yes.
Time out, Shelby. What is this book? You're either a natural or this book is like really good.
So this book, you guys, is called Word of Mouth, and it was by a woman
Sue
named.
Blue.
Yes.
Did I know that book.
Did
Yes.
you read
So
that book too?
I know, but I know Sue Blue.
Would I book more jobs?
Yes,
if
so
I
it's
read
by
this book?
Sue Blue. May she rest in. Wait, no, she's. Sorry.
Oh, man.
I'm sorry. Let me take
Don't
that
be
back.
starting rumors.
I'm sorry. My other teacher, Cynthia Sanjay, that she was partners with, passed away when I was actually training with her. But yeah, I called the number and it was Sue's assistant, and I was like, so I was just wondering, like, can I train with Sue? And she goes, hold on 1 second, and she gets Sue on the phone, and I'm like, hi, my name's Shelby Rabara, and I just read your book, and it's really great. I was wondering if I could train with you. Literally, the next 4 days, I was in her class for like over 1.5 years. It was awesome. So that means, you know what I mean? Like, if you have the inkling to do something, there are bookstores that have books, and I mean, you just have to be fearless and call the number and basically call the author. Don't stalk, is what I'm saying. I mean, but if there's a number, call it. You never know. I mean, look at me now. I'm playing Peridot with all these talented people up here at MomoCon, y'all.
All right. So we're gonna go ahead and open up to Q&A. Looks like we have about 20 minutes. So
Yikes.
again, keep
a
your
lot of time.
questions to one question, no spoilers, and keep it short. First question.
Hey, man.
Hey, nice seeing you again.
Likewise.
All right. So yesterday you wrote something very touching on the back of this painting, and I wanted you to read it in Steven's voice.
I can try. My voice is a little hoarse right now, but I want to do it.
All right. Is it okay if I bring it to you?
Yes, just so I get it right. I think I remember what I wrote, but he asked me to write something heartfelt on the back, so I pondered this for a couple minutes, and this is what I came up with. Something heartfelt that Steven would say to Rose.
Hey, Mom, if we should never meet, at least we'll always be together. Love, Steven.
Oh, Steven.
It's from the
That was
heart.
beautiful.
It really was. That was very lovely.
Thank you.
Hi.
Howdy.
Hello.
Hi.
First of all, Dee Dee, I resonate so much with Pearl, and I love your performance of her, and I just want to say I think you're pretty great.
Oh.
So there's that.
Thank you.
Not a question. But I do have a question for all of you guys. One of the many, many episodes that got to me was also a Pearl one, and after she sort of kind of unspokenly reconciled with Garnet right before on Friendship, when they were exploring that base and Peridot was attacking him, and they were trapped and they had no choice but to talk it out. And she mentions, she says, I'm just a pearl. I'm not good enough or I'm not strong enough, something along those lines. Have you guys ever had a time in your life where you never felt good enough or never equipped enough or thought you needed more training or more insert thing here to do something that you badly wanted to do or be?
I feel like I have those moments all
All
the
the
time.
time.
Yeah.
In fact, daily,
the
I'd
reg.
say.
Yes. I mean, there's always room for improvement in everything and anything you do.
Sure.
So, you know, the trick is just to dust yourself off and keep on trying and keep on going.
I'm of the humble opinion that if you are just perfectly, or like not perfectly content, but like, oh yeah, no, I'm like the best at this. Like I don't need to work any harder. I don't need. Then, yeah, how good can you really be at it? Like there shouldn't be a finish line with certain like things that you want to be successful at, or just in life and everyday tasks. But for me, I mean, like sometimes that's not an empowering thing. That's a very heavy thing where you're like, I just wish I could do this, but I can't. But I mean, the important thing is not giving up.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi.
Hi.
One thing that got to me was Connie and how she changed over the time of the show, just expanding in her character, breaking out of her shell, and all the characters had something like that. Do you guys have any thoughts on how your characters did that?
Well, sorry, can I jump in? I think a lot of an individual, like certainly on this show, a lot of an individual character's growth has to do with the whole, with the support of other characters. I mean, certainly that was, you know, with Amethyst's arc, she certainly depended on encouragement and love from Steven and Pearl and Garnet, and I'm gonna name off like so many people right now, but you know what I mean.
I mean, with Connie, I think the show does a great job at portraying just how impactful a great friendship can be. Because sometimes you can't grow and evolve on your own. You need the support of other people who love and care about you and who want you to succeed and become the best version of you that you can be. And I think Steven and even the Crystal Gems like feel that way about Connie, and it's helped her a lot, especially because if you look at Bubble Buddies, when she comes, she talks about how alone she feels all the time, and that evolution was so, well, as I said earlier, so fun to play and amazing and awesome.
I feel like Steven's relationships with everyone else is really is a hallmark of his personality. I mean, he's so giving, and he never really takes time to focus on himself because that's just not how his brain operates. I think that having people around him that don't use that against him has been very important for his development. He's seen a lot as it is, and he gets frustrated when the Gems won't tell him everything he needs to know. He thinks he needs to know about his past, but he loves them and he watches out for them, and I think that's an incredibly important part of Steven's development is seeing how that evolves as his will and his values are tested by everything around him.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for your question. Since we do have 15 minutes left, keep your questions short so we can get through as many of our guests as possible. Next question.
Hello. My name's Alex. I just want to let you guys know that I started watching the show as a skeptic, and just because the way the show's created is completely crushed and anything that I knew in regards to having preemptive thoughts about a show. So a quick question is, the episode Mirror Gem made me aware of just how next level it is in regards to the writing, but more importantly, to Steven's character. And just the person he is in the world of not having any hate in his heart, and even at his worst, it's a bad compliment. Is there an episode in particular to you guys that you became aware of just how incredible this show is?
For me, it was Jailbreak, Garnet's song, Stronger Than You. That's when I was like, wow, we are witnessing something that's never been done before. And I got goosebumps like watching it. That and seeing Stevani, actually that was another moment. I was like, okay, this is totally next level. Yeah, really powerful stuff.
To take a different route on that, it wasn't an episode per se, but it was a reaction to an episode. It was the reaction to that episode. It was one year at San Diego Comic-Con when that episode had just aired or it was being previewed. I can't remember, but the fan response was absolutely overwhelming. And that's when I realized that the show was really getting a lot of attention, a lot more than it was at the beginning. And I thought, I don't know, it didn't really strike me until these people started telling me, oh, it affected me in this way, the show moved me in this way, and it helped me through this. That's when I started realizing really how important Rebecca's work is.
For me, it was watching Line Straight to Video because in 11 and a half minutes, I didn't know what was happening to my heart. I was literally bawling at probably minute 10. And I didn't know what was happening. I knew what was happening, but emotionally, the well just overflowed. And I think that minutes are it's hard in television and in, theatrical cartoons, even regular television shows. It's hard to hit heartstrings that quickly. Even as far as writing goes, usually it takes, 42 minutes in an hour show with commercials that we don't like to watch anyways, to make us feel something. But the ramp up happens so quickly in these Steven Universe episodes, and it's definitely Rebecca and the whole Crewniverse, and also like our voice director, Kent Osborne, really pushes us to hit these emotional markers that we don't even know we're doing. And it's when I watch an episode, the first one for me was Line Straight to Video, and it's tackling issues like loss, the loss of a mother, that's when I knew we were a part of something really, really special.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Next question?
Hi, I'm Adam, and this question is mostly for Dee Dee, but any of you can answer it if you have, something to say. So Dee Dee, you have had tremendous success with live theater, musical theater, and I would just like to ask some advice for someone who wants to get into that as a career choice. Like, what would you say? How to start off, how to work with their vocals, how to get into it more?
Thank you so much. Tremendous. I don't know about that. Jen Paz also has some theater background as well as Zach. I started out, I was about 19 when I auditioned for my first Broadway musical, Miss Saigon. I really got lucky. I got to learn as I was actually in the show. So I think the more experience that you get, whether it's in school or professional theater, regional theater, just trying to get as much experience as you can. Education, you can never overlearn something. There's always something new to learn about your craft, whether it's singing, dancing, acting, or all the above. So yes, just keep educating yourself and experience as much theater as you can, watching theater and doing theater. So good luck to you.
Thank you.
You'll learn a ton from a good community theater production. You'll learn a million times more from a really, really rough community theater production. I promise.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next question?
Hi, my name is Sophie, and thank you so much for being just amazing voice actors and what it looks like amazing people. Thank you so much for being on the Crewverse.
That's
Oh,
a
shucks.
great
And
compliment.
the question is, I know that Lapis and Peridot, what it looks like, don't really get along well, like a dog and a cat, but Jennifer, Shelby, how do you two get along?
Oh, I love Jennifer.
She's all right.
I take everything I just said back. I almost fall over.
Hey, okay, so a while back, Zach posted on his Instagram story about like the Zach Callison show, and he was in a crop top. So what I'm wondering is, when are we gonna see that again?
We
I'm
shot.
sorry, Zach, in a crop top?
Yes,
Is that
what is
Oh.
this crop top? What is
That weekend I wore a crop top, a dress, a
Cool.
wig, and that was just the first weekend of shooting. Yeah, I haven't done like an official announcement video yet, but I'm working on a sketch project called The Zach Callison Show as sort of a pilot pitch, but I'm going to put it out on YouTube so that everyone can see it first. And we just started shooting it, we just started production, so we shot the bit with the crop top, with the whole Catch Me Outside, how about that thing? For anybody who saw it, it was madness, but we had a blast. So that's still in production. It should be out this year.
Okay, thank you.
Also, great cosplay. We choosing you.
Yeah, right?
Yes. Choosing.
So we're going to continue going through the Q&A, but in the meantime, if there is a Michael Little, will you go to Hannah, my lovely assistant, right by the microphone in the gray shirt? Michael Little, please come to Hannah.
Michael Little.
All right,
come forward.
Paging Michael Little.
go ahead.
Paging Michael Little.
Oh, is that Michael?
Yes, this is Michael.
All right.
Oh, sad. That other guy's like, man, I wish my name was Michael Little.
Yes.
What's happening? Hi.
Hello.
Okay.
Hi.
We don't bite.
Are you okay, hon? Hi, Michael. Hi, Michael.
Hey.
Michael Little has a question.
Michael, Michael, Michael,
Michael.
Michael, Michael, Michael.
From the moment we first met,
Speak into the mic, Michael.
So we all can hear
We
you.
all need to hear this question.
Absolutely.
It's the big question.
from the moment we first met, you've been making me happy just by being around. And I'm the happiest that I've ever been. I know that I will be with you for the rest of my life. So I have a question for you.
Dude, he's on his knee. Dude, he's on his knee.
Did she say yes?
She said yes.
Congratulations! Best choosing ceremony ever.
Cheers.
That was the best Q&A ever.
Wait,
Not forgetting that one anytime soon.
Michael, what's your lover's name?
Congratulations.
Ren.
Awesome.
Ren.
Yeah.
Ren.
Yes, okay. Let's
Hi, Ren. Hi,
Congratulations, Ren.
Congrats. Ren, don't you work on Cartoon Network Steven Universe?
Yes.
Yes. Thank you so much for all you do.
Amen.
She's part of the Crewverse. Michael and Ren, congratulations. Well done, Michael. Well done.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Sorry for hijacking the Q&A there, but congratulations. Now, there's 5 more minutes. Let's go ahead and go and do a lightning round of questions.
Tough act to follow.
Next question.
All right. I love you guys. I've been watching since the show started, and it's helped me a lot as a member of the LGBTQ community. And For Shelby, my boyfriend was too anxious to ask you. He wants to know your thoughts on Malik.
Oh, I love Malik. So those of you that don't know, my husband plays Magnus Bane on Shadowhunters on Freeform. I'm a huge shipper of Malik, and I think Matthew Daddario and Harry Shum Jr. do a really, really great job. They work really, really hard on bringing truth to those characters. So I hope that they're doing you guys, I hope you guys think that they're awesome like me. 2 thumbs up for Malik? Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right, real quick. I asked this of Dee Dee earlier. Hey, I was wondering, some of your characters have voices that are much different than your own. I was wondering if you ever have difficulties singing in character.
What?
Yes, especially Zach.
Hardest part of the show for me. It's I love the music. We get great songs to sing, but for me it's, you know, on a good day, doing the voice for dialogue is the easy part, but singing in a character voice is, because you're already sort of, you know, having to do something different with your voice when you're singing normally, and putting a voice on top of that, plus, like Steven's voice, the way I do it, the actual like technical vocal technique doesn't lend itself well to singing, so it's much harder to stay on pitch. The range is much different than my normal range, so we have to pick different keys than I would normally sing in, but it works out usually.
You do great.
Thank you.
We love your voice.
Next question.
Hello.
Hello, Holly Blue.
Hi. This blue diamond is the best diamond.
Nice.
All right. So my question is actually for Michaela. In the episodes where you had to voice multiple amethysts, how was that like for you in the booth? Just basically having to have conversations with yourself in different voices.
Oh, it's a blast because it's sort of what goes on in my head anyway. So I'm like always at the grocery store, and I'll be like, "Oh, make these healthy choices." No, you don't have to. You can get it. I mean, it's like, you know. I mean, they know. Sometimes I'll do them in like a full take. Like I won't do one take being like XA58 or whatever it is. You know what I mean? Like I won't do one take in one character. I'll go through and be every character and just talk to myself like that. I think it helps that most people can range, like either skew their voice so it's a little different or higher. A lot of ladies can do that. I like tend to go down. Like I get down. So I don't know. It's really fun. It's fun.
Thank you so much. That will be all.
Okay. That will be all. Yeah.
She's into it.
All right, hey guys.
Sour cream.
Yeah.
Glow sticks.
You know it, yeah. Okay, so as a non-binary person, Stevani is kind of the greatest thing ever to me. The first non-binary character I've seen on TV where everybody refers to them as their pronouns, no matter if it's the gems, other humans, and it just means a lot to me. And especially Stevani's kind of appearance when everybody in Beach City just kind of drops their jaws at their beauty. I was wondering what you guys think about that kind of representation on the show that hasn't really been seen anywhere else.
Yeah, it's awesome.
2 thumbs up.
Yeah.
I think it's especially important now in 2017. Not only binary representation, but also we're so diverse as a cast.
Yes, totally.
Not only the voice actors, but also the whole crewniverse. Like when we go upstairs to visit everybody, you know, the storyboard artists, everybody is so diverse, as you know, whether it be ethnic backgrounds or identifying with the LGBTQI community.
Yeah.
So as a whole, I think we're all just very thankful, and we're really blessed to be a part of a show that is really breaking so many boundaries.
Yes, you guys rule for that. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Now, this will be our last question, unfortunately.
Thank goodness. Thank goodness.
But make it quick.
I love it.
I always wanted to work for Cartoon Network, and I really look up to Rebecca Sugar. So
do we, yeah.
I made this painting back in March, and it's basically a picture of me and Rebecca Sugar and all of our characters. Well,
Very cool.
She's with Lion. I'm with my characters, the survivors.
Awesome.
Love it.
Awesome. Thank you.
Great. Good luck to you, hon. I hope you work for Cartoon Network someday.
Put it on the vision board.
They are right down the
Yeah.
street.
It's awesome.
powerful.
Yeah,
Right.
that's
Oh, that is so cool.
awesome.
Woohoo!
And just to end on this note, since you brought this up, if raise your hand if you're an artist in any capacity. Our fan base is so talented, guys. Art is so important. Whatever it is that you do, however you express yourself, do not stop. Always do it. It is the most important form of self-expression.
Yes. Yes.
Thank you all so much. Give
Thank
it up one more time. They will be at their autograph booths if you want to ask them their question. At 7 p.m. today, we can find Pearl dropping her career change. Where can we find this?
Oh.
The Pearl
rap. The Pearl.
Oh yeah.
The Pearl Secret Rap.
Pearl's Secret Rap Career panel tonight
Mackenzie.
at 7 o'clock.
7 o'clock.
With the great MK Atwood.
MK Atwood, yeah.
There's gonna be nothing but memes.
I know we have to turn over, but we just would like to say,
You guys.
We are the crystal gems. We'll always save the day. And if you think we can't, we'll always find a way. That's why the people of this world believe in garnet, amethyst, and pearl. And Steven!
we love you guys. We love you guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I want to take a picture.
Yeah. Should we do a